What's up guys and welcome to Crossout. This time I'm gonna show you how to make the sideways hover builds, or in general sideways builds. But before we move on, let's talk about why you would even want to build sideways. And what it means sideways is that your cabin is like this. See, the cabin is facing there, but your build's front is over there. So that's what sideways means. So a lot of people don't know this, and a lot of people don't want to build it because it's too difficult. And also the controls, you have to remap your controls. It's not a big deal. I use voice attack for that, and auto hotkey. Yes, auto hotkey. Some people are complaining, it's scripting. Well, it really is not, because different keyboard layouts, like let's say Russian keyboard, it has completely different buttons. And it's the same thing. If you remap your keyboard buttons, is that cheating? Are you serious? Like, don't kid yourself. It's not. Anyway, let's begin with this. Why you would build sideways? So, let's take some parts off and show you. So, the main thing why you want to build sideways is because you can't flip the movement part. See, I can't mount it in here. See, it doesn't flip. There is no way to flip the movement parts. So this is why you want to build sideways, so that you can put the movement parts like this and not, like the other way. So the difference in here is that you can simply protect the hovers better. And that's pretty much the only reason why you would want to build sideways. It doesn't look better, it's the looks is not different at all. But the hovers, see, the so-called weld point is in here. And this way it's a lot longer than this way, if you know what I mean. If this hover would be attached to this frame like this, then it will come out up to about this point in here, I would say. So this way you can hide the hovers. You can also put one like right in the middle in here. That's the idea of this. Let's dissect this build a little bit and show you. So first, if someone shoots you, I'm gonna put all the parts back like it was before and show you. So if someone shoots you in the front and they, like, let's say they take out about these parts with one hit, next one might take maybe these out. These are very resistant, so you should always use the gun mounts as the frontal armor for the hovers. So next shot might take out this, maybe even this one. This falls out somewhere in the middle along the lines, then the hovers come out, this comes out. I also have a plow in here. Well, this depends on a build, but this plow, it has, as you can see, durability 200 and the engine has 400. So you have to take these out, and only then, if you take out, this, then you can reach the middle hover, and then you also have the plows in here. And that's the idea. Even if these all are gone, you can still fly like this. I'm gonna show you. See, it flies perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It can still fly. And that's the idea, so to protect the hovers. So I'm gonna go a little bit in depth. I might actually make a new build. Yes, I'm gonna delete this one and make a new build with something just to demonstrate. So first, obviously, decide which cabin you want to use. For hovers, I would recommend either Quantum, Torero, where's Torero? Torero, Harpy, or, well, I mean, Icebox, it's okay if you're using typhoons or tsunamis, but I would really not recommend it. It's a bit slow and sluggish. Other than that, I would never do Bastion or Humpback. Echo, that also works actually. Might actually use Echo. No. Nah. Ghost Cabin also works. Favorite Cabin, very good. But they don't provide much protection. So let's show you. Let's put a piece of frame in here, like in the middle. And if you have a favorite cabin in here, let's say, I'll just put it on top of the frame. So this would be your front end in here. So you can hide some hovers in the front in here, just to, make them as a decoy or something. It actually works pretty well. I have fell for it. If you have, I'll put new frames in here. Actually, I can't. Okay, like this. So if you have the hovers in the front, like so, they are very good decoy. People try to take them out and then they realize, oh, they have more hovers. So The first thing is to decide if you're gonna use edges or not. Personally, I like putting the edges. I'll show you where I like putting it if you're using the edges. I like putting it right here behind the cabin. And then also one layer of armor on top, which you will have to attach to somewhere at the back in here. But if you're gonna use this kind of layout, then it's better to put the bigger frame in the middle. If you can, use the heavy frame if you have more weight. Put it like so, like just with one, because if someone shoots you from the front, they might hit you from into the frame. So also melees, they don't knock it out instantly. Okay, so this setup uses the middle, two in the middle, and next we want to put the hovers in there on the side. Whoops, let's leave them in there. So we put one there and the other one on the other side. Yeah, see, there's a problem. This hover doesn't go as in as this one, which means they have to go a little bit back. One block back. There we go. Put them as close to the cabin as possible, because if they're further away and you lose the front hovers, then your nose is going to be down anyway, so it doesn't really help you. So this is the basic layout for if you want to use the edges. I mean, you don't have to put it in here, but I just like putting it in here because it's good place for it, because why not? Also put it sideways if you want, but yeah, it goes too high. So from here you can have different kind of setups. You can put for example frames somewhere in, whoops, even in there. You can put the hovers in there, and then one more in the middle, for example. I'm just showing you like different options in here. Don't use obviously the kind of frames I'm using. I just put them randomly. You should use the small ones in here. So this could be one possible setup, and then we're gonna use the gun mounts as I showed you to protect the front. I think they should. No, they don't go in here. Yeah, they don't go in there. Yeah, don't put them in there because that doesn't really protect you. I mean, you can actually. It's not a bad idea. You could put them in there if you want. But I would say maybe make this, let's see. Well, you got the idea. The idea is to put the hovers somewhere in the front like this, and then protect them with something, a few layers of armor. Then from here you go at the back hovers, they should be like here. I will recommend 4 blocks in here, not 2. That again depends, like you can put light frames if you really don't have the mass. I don't like light frames really. I like to have the main part heavy frames like this one and then these two, but well, up to you really. And then we would put something at the back in here, the back hovers. The back hovers, you don't need that many of them. I usually put 3 in the back, sometimes 4. So you can put one in the middle. You will have to fix the frames in here. Like something like this. That would be the basic, layout for something like with something light, maybe like Helios, machine guns, not really shotguns, pulsars maybe, they would also work, but I would recommend Echo Cabin actually for pulsars. But you get the idea. This is like a basic layout for the hovers. See, these are protected. And the second layout, which is actually better to protect the hovers, is to make the side frames. Is to put the hovers right in the middle and here. And the side frames means that, yeah, on this one it's very difficult to do actually. See, it doesn't even go. But this means that your frames are going from the side of the build. Actually, this one could go in here. Go out like this maybe. Yeah, as close as possible. This one in there. Whoops, stuck on something. Remove that one. Let's just use smaller pieces. Just to get this going. There we go. Put one in here. And then the other ones on the side. So this is the so-called side frame layout. You can also, if you want, you could split these hovers a little bit and put another 2 by something in the middle, but it's not really necessary. I mean, if you take so much damage that both of the sides fall off, See, if one falls off, the other side still holds. But if you take that much damage, I think you're toast anyway, so it doesn't really help you, you know. Just a waste of part limit and waste of weight, so. But as you can see, these hovers are really well protected behind the cabin. On this kind of layout, I would recommend putting maybe hovers in here, like so. And then the front, you could use these gun mounts, and on these you build rest of the, you know, the armor around them. So again, these hovers are very difficult to even notice if you have a build like this. People always think that these are your main hovers and try to shoot them out, so. And if all this is gone, then these hovers, they are almost impossible to take out from front. The only way is if you have something up here and explosion radius knocks them out, or a mandrake hit. I'm not going to build a full build in here, but I'll just show you some options. That's what I'm doing in here. Full build is gonna take usually like an hour to make like a, you know, full build. But I am showing you the quantum cabin in here. I don't know which way it exactly goes in here. Middle here, or maybe like this. But yeah, the reason why quantum is better to protect the hovers is because it's wider this way, or well, rather longer. And it's very difficult to shoot the hovers out even if you're like under angle a little bit. The small cabins, they don't protect, you know, the hovers that well. But the quantum does. It's really good, you know. So it should be sitting in here, the cabin. But yeah, don't leave like gaps. Like this would be bad. Don't leave a gap in here. These hovers, as I said, should always be as close to the cabin as possible. Then you just have to work with this. And if you're using something else, like the echo cabin maybe, hit in the middle. Echo cabin is really high up, it's really good. I think you can even put the parts over from here. No, you can't. And yes, these buggy floors are also very good for protection. I usually use them as gun mounts though. They are very good for gun mounts on the hovers. And these are frontal protection. So that really depends which cabin you're gonna use. But the idea is always the same, how you mount them. And then in here, in the back, this is where you build your so-called everything. The generator, if it doesn't go like this, you can put something under. Like, if you're gonna use an ammo pack, you can put ammo pack under. Put the generator on top. Probably not gonna even use the 2 blocks there. You probably don't need 2 blocks. No, yeah, like this. That would be very good. You can do like this. But the thing is, don't put guns directly on the generator, because if someone shoots you in the guns, they gonna pop your generator, and you don't really want that. So with this, I would say something like this would be good. I mean, this is a generic, you know, build idea, but I'm showing you anyway. Depending on the guns, what you're gonna use, like maybe Helios, or let's put Helios, aspects, whatever. Found aspects first. Put them like this. See, this will be the general idea. And the guns are like, you know, in front of the generator. Don't need ammo pack on it. I know you don't need ammo pack. I'm just showing you options. And maybe in front of the guns we would, well, on this one I would recommend Aegis, of course. But like I said, Aegis should go in there. There are options. Like I also said, you could put Aegis in here. But yeah, this bubble is not too bad. See, it still protects your cabin and everything. Well, the Aegis is really to protect your guns, not your cabin really, but it should cover the cabin too. So yeah, you could put it like this if you want. I mean, it's not a bad idea. You could put it in there. You can also put it under. Some people have it under, but I prefer it between the hovers. And then you also definitely need to put some armor, like above these front hovers in here. Whatever you can put in there, any parts that will go. Like something like this. Something over them. Maybe the guns could be like even 1 block higher. And to do that, could flip these around maybe. Yeah, like this, see? The guns should always be a little bit higher for the, you know, the aim angles and stuff. Yeah, see, that's not too bad, you know. You have some room to put armor and stuff in here. So I'm not gonna finish this one because it's gonna take too long to explain through everything. But I show you the general idea of how to make it. And now I'm gonna just show you some of my sideways hovers and explain few things, so hopefully that's gonna help you. So here's my Fire Angel sideways build. This uses the Harpy cabin and 3 fortunes, as you can see. So the front armor in here, the idea is to protect the hovers, as I showed you. There's a lot of spaced armor, so the first shell might take out this, the next one then take out this, and if another one hits in here, then most likely, well, this might actually stay in these parts, because these are grills, they let the damage through. So the next one might take this out, this one, then maybe this one. But see, these hovers, even if all this is gone from the front, all this armor in here, and also this hover, then it is very difficult to shoot these hovers out. I think the next thing that would go will be the guns, and without guns you're useless anyway, so that's the, you know, the whole idea why you want to build sideways, so the cabin simply protects the hovers. If there is something shooting you under the angle, maybe like from here directly, like around this area, it might actually take this part out and go through the damage, but I don't think it has ever happened to me. The Mandrake, yeah, Mandrake can do a lot of damage. The splash damage, when it hits on the ground, it goes like under. It can actually knock your hovers out, but other than that, I think it's fine. And here is my old Asp Explorer build. It's overweight because they changed the weight of the blouse, but this concept is exactly what I showed you, the ages, and actually uses the favorite cabin, so the hovers are not that well protected, to be honest, because if someone shoots you in here and like takes out all this armor, they can actually shoot you into the hover. But it's rare, it doesn't usually happen. I mean, if you see an aspect hover, you usually aim for their guns anyway, so it's a lot easier to shoot out aspects guns than the hovers. But I'm just showing you this concept, that it uses this exact framework in here, that you have a heavy frame in here, then some light frames just to hold some parts, and I don't know why I have heavy frames in here. That's pretty unnecessary, but and also that's unnecessary. I think I rushed it a little bit, I don't know, but yeah, whatever, you get the idea. That's the idea with the ages. And then we have my Demise, the Helios hover in here. This is also the similar concept to aspects. I mean, the Helios and aspects, they're pretty similar guns anyway, like the size and everything, the angles. And this one again uses this kind of design, but the H is a little bit, more back and more armored. It's very difficult to shoot the H's out. I did lose it a couple of times because someone shot me like right in here and somehow took it out, but as you can see, the hovers, they're pretty well protected behind the quantum cabin. It's pretty difficult to get them out, but again, this design, it has these kind of little bit exposed edges on the hovers. If you get an angle or something, then you can shoot them out, but that's why you have a layer of armor in here just in case. So that's like double hover design, what I call it, that you have like 2 on the side, and I put the red ones because they have more durability. So yeah, this is the same principle as the aspect one. Then I have my Maverick in here. I already made video on this one too. And again, same principle. It uses the sideways frame, and the middle hovers are, hidden behind the cabin. There's no H's because of the Aurora and 3 Arbiters. It's mainly like kind of a meh build, but still the design is still very good, The gun's protected, the hover's protected, it's all good. And finally I also have my Striker in here. This is one of the best ones. It's like super tanky. The hovers, they just won't ever come out, the back hovers. I mean, see, I have this is actually a new kind of design. It has only 1 hover in the middle. This one I kind of forgot to mention. You can also make this kind of design, put just 1 hover in the middle and then 2 on the sides. Then comes the cabin, and then you can also include 2 or 3 hovers in the front, just as a decoy. So even if you lose all these hovers, it will still fly. It's overweight, but well, you're not gonna lose them like this. If you're gonna lose them, you will lose this front end because they have to shoot you through this, whoops, and take your hovers out. So you can also probably lose a little bit of this, and if this happens, see, you are still mobile. You can still fly. You're grinding a little bit to the ground, but you are mobile. You can control your hover. See, I'm going sideways, I'm going backwards, I'm going forward. See, it's still controllable. And that's the whole idea, to have that hover in the middle in there. On this build, this hover just won't come out. You will lose your guns before that hover comes out. I don't think it has ever happened to me that I lost the hover. I even have the ammo packs in here because they have so much structure that, yeah. But this build, trust me, it is very tanky. You can go back and look at my videos on these builds and see for yourself how durable they really are. Here is my cricket harpy build, crickets and harpy cabin. I don't remember if I even made the video on this updated build. But, well, it uses the harpy cabin and the hovers, again, hidden behind the cabin in there, sideways, the frames on the sides, and that's pretty much it. And I also have my old Redshirt build in here. It still uses the Tico armor. It no longer works, so I can just remove it. But again, the design is similar. I have put these coolers and stuff in between because I needed room for it, so this uses a little bit different. This has a single frame in the middle. This is what I explained, that you can put just single frame if you want. You don't have to put the double frame. But again, it has a little bit protection here. See, that's a little bit spaced armor. It's spaced a little bit out, so if the cannon hits, then hopefully the explosion radius is not gonna knock your hover out. But again, the same principle as all the other designs. Hide the hovers behind the cabin. So I hope this explains to you how, why and where and what, and yeah, and all these questions about sideways hover builds. But what about leg builds? Why would you build leg builds sideways? You don't really need to protect legs because, I mean, they have like lots of structure, so why do it? So the reason why anyone would want to build a sideways legged build is simply to put more armor in the front. As you can see, the Goliath track, it works excellent as armor, and you can also mount weapons on it. You can put like something like this, for example. It will face right over it, so it's very difficult to shoot off the guns. You can even put them a little bit backwards, something like this. I think that went too far, something like this. So if we're sideways like this, well, the aim angle is not the greatest, as you can see, but I can still shoot in there. It's not too far, you know. And the Goliath track, it really works as, you know, great armor. And you can lift the guns one block higher if you want. But that's the idea of it. And the other idea why you would want the sideways build is to go into lower power score with only 3 legs. For example, removing this, and having only this kind of setup. And, well, I guess you could also have maybe like 2 legs at the back. And maybe like 3 in the front to reduce the, you know, reduce the mass and stuff. You can also have a meat grinder in the front, for example. It works miracles. It works really great, the meat grinder against the melees. Could have it, doesn't go? What? I don't even know why I'm doing this. You got the idea already, but what? Still doesn't go? Eh? I don't know what's going on. I didn't know meat grinder needs that much clearance. That's weird. But that would be ridiculous. I would not do this. Legs would have to go a lot back, but yeah, the sideways builds, they can work really well, you know, at times. This is actually a build I have yet to make what? Oh my god, I can't speak anymore. I think this is going as long as it is already. But this is the kind of build I will make at some point with, you know, the Goliath track sideways like this. But with spiders sideways, there's also some control issues. Not just you have to remap them, but it still turns the wrong way at some point, so. But anyway, I hope I have explained the idea of the sideways builds, why make them and how make them. I hope this helped you, and I will see ya next time.